Hey YouTube, welcome back to Vintage Card Collecting Victories. Donnie here. Nice you guys could join me again. So Strongsville is about here. Starts up this Friday coming. I'm heading there on Thursday. Be there Thursday night. Be ready to go in with the early entry on Friday. And so I thought today I'd share what cards I'm targeting. Go through kind of my budget. What I'm looking for. There's a lot of different options. I'm sure my appetite's a lot bigger than my pocketbook will be, but I want to share that with you guys, and then I'll have some other videos coming up of some things I'm bringing to the trade night that happens on Saturday night, hosted by 4 Collectors and some other sponsors. But anyway, I hope you guys are planning to attend. If you are, I look forward to seeing you. Feel free to come up and introduce yourself. I'll be doing that to a lot of folks as well. It'll be the first time I have an opportunity to meet most of the other YouTubers. So I'm really looking forward to that. But also just looking forward to, a almost purely vintage card show. So one that I don't have to jump around Pokemon tables or shiny football, basketball tables, and really, things that I like pretty much at every table. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, can't wait to get there and spend Friday and then all day Saturday at the show. Do the meet and greet Friday night, trade night Saturday night, then I'll come home Sunday. But anyway, let's turn this around. I've got some slides to show what I'm targeting, and we'll go through that. Okay, so here are my top targets for Strongsville for this year. First up, number one priority is the 1954 Topps Ernie Banks rookie card. Based on some recent eBay sales and a little bit of research I've done, to get it in a PSA SGC 2 to 4 range, I'm probably going to be looking at $1,000 to $1,400 budget-wise for that price point. So that's what I'm really targeting. I like to have one that's well-centered, mostly top to bottom. I don't like when his name or the Cubs logo is cut off the top. So if I can see white above his name and the Cubs border, that would be great. Left to right centering also would like decent there. The other big thing with Ernie Banks rookie cards is the surface. I would like a nice clean surface. If there's a minor wrinkle or something like that somewhere, that's probably okay. But I don't like any of the snowing that's pretty common on the Banks rookie cards. However, if for some reason I can't find one of those Banks rookie cards, which I think I will, I watched Greg Big Life Sports video where he showed Ash's table inventory, and I think Ash had a couple of Banks rookie cards that were in this price range in his inventory, so we'll see. But if for whatever reason I can't find one that I like or that I can afford, I do have some backups. And the first backup is the 55 Topps Clemente rookie card. Probably going to have to settle for one in the 1.5 to 2 range, just for budget purposes here. But Clemente is the biggest rookie card from the 55 Topps set that I'm working on. It's the biggest card I still need to complete the set. If I get the Clemente, then that will bring me down to essentially 3 cards remaining to complete that set. So that would be a huge win if I could pull that off, if I didn't get the Banks rookie card. However, if for some reason I can't find a Banks that I like, nor a Clemente that I like and can afford, then I have a couple other options still. First up, 68 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card. This is a card that, as a kid growing up in the 80s collecting cards, every kid wished they could have a Nolan Ryan rookie card. So looking at something in a 3.5 to 5 range, I think the budget for that would be $600 to $900 based on some recent eBay sales. So I think I could swing that. And if I do go down that route, I may have enough money left over to get the 1960 Topps Mickey Mantle, which is the biggest card I still need for that set as well. So for the Mantle, I would be looking for either ungraded or graded, somewhere in the VGEX to excellent, SGC PSA 4 to 5 range. And based on eBay sales, that looks like it's in the $500 to $850 kind of price point. So it's possible if I don't get the Banks nor the Clemente, I could get both the Ryan and the Mantle. And if I get the Ryan and Mantle, that would pretty much check off, Golden Era Hall of Fame rookie card, as well as a Mantle card that I want to get at Strongsville. So kind of two of the major categories checked off with that. However, I still am really hoping to get the Banks rookie card. That's, like I said, my number one target. But we'll see how things play out. Once you get there and start walking around the tables, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other things that pique my interest, and so we'll see. But I would really like to come home with a nice Banks rookie card. And then next up is the first of my pre-war targets. This is focusing on the T206 set, which I admit I've neglected quite a bit lately, so I'd like to pick up some hits there. I'm thinking that I want to do some off-back Hall of Famers, possibly, guys like Vic Willis, Hugh Duffy, George Davis, Chesbro, Tinker. We'll see though what I find. I do need a couple of kind of off back still as I'm working on my back run, so I'm needing the American Beauty 350 no frame back, and also I would like to find a Piedmont 460 series with the factory 42 back as well. Those could be in a non-Hall of Fame player if I needed to do it that way. If I could find a Hall of Fame player with either of those backs that I could afford, that would be fantastic. But I have a feeling those two backs on a Hall of Famer is going to be pretty pricey. So for Hall of Famers, maybe looking more like Polar Bear, Sovereign, maybe Old Mill type backs. The other thing I want to look for are Old Mill Southern Leaguers. So I've got some Southern Leaguers I'm going to bring for trade night because I'm kind of think I'm going to restructure my Southern Leaguer set a little bit and try to get those in all Old Mill Southern League backs. So we'll see if I can find anything there. For these, I'm okay with ungraded or graded. If they're graded, they're probably going to be in the 1 to 2 range, something like that, maybe 2.5 at most, but more than likely in that 1 to 2 range. So for getting a couple of those cards, I'm looking at somewhere between $300 and $900, probably for a budget. Or alternately, I could try to go after one bigger card, such as a Tris Speaker or a Christy Mathewson Dark Cap, or even a Walter Johnson Hands at Chest. I like all three of those cards a whole lot. Any one of those is probably going to be north of $1,000, hopefully less than $1,400 though. I did see some recent sales for the Walter Johnson Polar Bear that you see there. That was less than $1,400. That Christy Mathewson is actually a cycle back that's on eBay right now. It has a lot of back damage on it, so you can tell it's a cycle back, but it's definitely paper loss on the back. But the front of it looks fantastic, and that one I think is $1,600 or $1,700, so a little bit higher than my budget. But if I could find a similar Christy Mathewson with a Polar Bear back or a Sovereign back or something like that, that would be something I'd be interested in. And then of course Tris Speaker, same thing. If I could get that with a Polar Bear back within my budget, that would be awesome. So anyway, those are definitely want to come home with some T206s, whether it's one big card or a couple of smaller cards. I don't really know yet. Just wait and see. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of T206s at Strongsville for me to go through. I'm really hoping there's some kind of ungraded and value boxes or something like that I can look through and maybe pick up some Polar Bear, Old Mill, Sovereign kind of commons too in the $50 to $75 range. That would be fantastic as well. So we'll see. That's what I'm looking for the T206s at Strongsville. Okay, some more pre-war targets for the 2025 Strongsville show. These kind of came as an afterthought, but I'm kicking myself because I think Strongsville will have a ton of pre-war inventory there to check out and to choose from. So I'm almost thinking that I need to re-wicker my kind of budget, my approach a little bit to focus some more on pre-war stuff and not so much on golden era cards. But we'll see how things play out. But some definite things I want to try to get while I'm at Strongsville. I want to get one, maybe two cards from set that I don't have an example of yet. So, for instance, the 1929 cash-in set. I think there was a Jimmy Fox sold recently on eBay for like $350, something like that. And based on some other past sales, it looks like I could probably swing Lefty Grove, maybe a Hack Wilson, maybe some other players kind of that caliber for under $400 or so. Another option would be the 33 DeLong set. Those are pretty pricey, but I do think that players like Pepper Martin, Chuck Klein, Lefty Gomez, Charlie Gehringer, some of those could be had for under that $400 price point. The Pepper Martin you see there is really awesome. That's a fantastic looking card. And most of the other ones that I mentioned there are also great looking cards. I don't have a 33 DeLong nor a cash-in card yet, so getting either one or both of those or an example from either of those sets would be great. Over on the right, I do have one 34-36 batter up card. It's a Rick Farrell Hall of Fame card from the later series, but I would like to pick up at least one more batter up if I could. Someone like Mel Ott, Joe Cronin, Dickey, Pie Trainer, Lefty Grove. We'll see what they may have available. That one that's seen there is, I believe that's the Mel Ott, and I think the sale price on that one was below that $400 threshold too. So, if I have $200 to $400 or so to spend on some other kind of pre-war cards, I'd like to get one or two from sets that I don't have examples from yet, and some of the some notable players if I could. Eventually, I'd like to collect the entire batter up set, so I could also pick up some commons there. There's a lot of those that look fantastic as well, but I'd like to try to probably stick to some of the more notable names if I could. Now on to some of the player run targets I have for this year. So first of all, on the left, the 63 Topps Lou Brock. That's the most expensive Lou Brock I need for his normal playing days, kind of Topps run. The Venezuelans and some of the OPGs I'm sure are more expensive that I don't have, but this is his second year card and a little more expensive than some, but I still think I can probably get a really nice copy of that for $125. So that one is a possibility. I don't know for sure if I will go down that route, but it would be nice to knock off one card from Lou Brock's player run. In the middle, I would also like to pick up a Mantle. If I don't get the 1960 Topps Mantle, I'd probably go after one of these three. Either the 61 Mantle MVP card there you see in the red on the top left, or the 67 Topps Mantle. A lot of people don't like that card for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I think it's a fantastic card of Mickey Mantle. And then down there at the bottom, that's the 1960 Topps Mantle All-Star, which I need for my 60 Topps set. So that would be a good consolation prize if I don't get the 1960 Topps Mantle base card. So definitely want to pick up at least one Mantle at Strongsville. Just depending how it plays out, if it'll be a larger card like the 60 Topps Mantle, or if it'll be one of these smaller cards. But I'm looking at somewhere between $300 and $400 kind of limit there if I don't get the 60 Topps Mantle. And then on the right, 50 Bowman Richie Ashburn. This is a card I've wanted for a long time. It's a great Richie Ashburn card. It's pretty hard to find, at least at the Nashville shows I've been to. But I think there will be some of these here coming up at Strongsville. And I think I can get a really nice copy for under $200, probably closer to $150. I'm hoping, but if I need to go and stretch a little bit to $200, I'm willing to do that. It's one of the, his earlier playing days cards that I still need for my player run. Still need his rookie card and one other, I think, before this, but I think this will take care of the 50s cards I need for him. And so I've been looking for it for a while. So if I can get that while I'm there, that would be awesome. So that's kind of the player run targets I'm looking at for Strongsville. We'll see, if something else catches my eye. Some of these may fall off the plan, but right now I'll be looking for these when I go. And next up are some hits for my 1965 top set. I'm down to 5 cards needed to complete that set. I do have some upgrades beyond this, but these are the 5 that I'm missing right now. So I'll be looking for some of these at Strongsville. Depending on how things play out, if I get the 60 tops mantle, maybe the Ashburn or the Brock, this particular target group may fall off the table as well, but we'll see. I think if I get, the Nolan Ryan rookie card, for instance, or the Ernie Banks or the Clemente rookie card, I think the Carlton and the Perez rookie card will fall off, and I'd probably target one of the other 3. But we'll see. But I think for $300 to $600, if I haven't spent my budget by that point, I could get a couple of these cards probably. The Carlton's probably going to run close to $300, and the condition I would like. The Perez is probably going to be $100 to $200 in that range, and I think probably the Rose, Mays, and Koufax are going to be in that $150 to $200 range each of those. So I won't be able to get all of them. If I get one, I'll be happy. If I get 2, I'll be great. But this is kind of one of those things where I'm really questioning, do I hold off on these so I can focus more on pre-war at Strongsville? Because I can find most of these cards pretty regularly at the Nashville shows and some of the other kind of local and regional shows that I go to. So these aren't super high priority, but this is probably the highest priority set that I'm building. And so making a little bit of progress would be great. So we'll just see how things go. But those are what I'm looking for the 65 top set. And then there's the 1964 Topps Giant set that I'm also building. I'm getting down near the end there, have 8 cards to go. Some short prints in here. The Willie Mays is a short print. I think the Galen Cisco, maybe the Causey is 2. I'm not sure about if Bob Friend is a short print. But anyway, a few Hall of Famers, few short prints. The cards aren't super expensive, but I think that if I spend $150 to $200, I will not be able to get all 8 of those, even if they're available there at Strongsville. So if I can pick a 2, 3, 4, something like that, or one bigger one, the Mays is probably going to be 100 plus, the Aaron's probably going to be 100 plus, Koufax probably 100 plus. The other ones are going to be less than that. So it just depends, but chipping away at this, getting it whittled down a little bit farther at Strongsville would be great. But again, this is kind of lower priority, so if I've spent my money by this point and I don't get any of those, I'm not going to come home disappointed. It's just these cards are, while they're not rare, you don't see them super often. They're larger size, so they're not as popular, but I think they're great photos of the players. If you're just looking for any 64 Topps Giants card, you can probably find a couple at any given show, but when you're down to needing a few specific ones, it becomes harder and harder to get those last few, as anyone who's built sets knows. So that's kind of where I'm at in this one, and really want to finish it. Once I finish this, I can move on to some other, if you will, kind of oddball set builds that I want to get to, but we'll see. So kind of low-hanging fruit there, but again, it's not a high priority depending on where my budget lays. And now finally, wrapping up my miscellaneous budget. And even though this may seem kind of like an afterthought or something like this is actually one of the things I'm most excited about Strongsville. I'm planning on allocating about $250 just to go through random value boxes and see what I can find. I usually spend a lot of my time at the Nashville show going through value boxes, vintage value boxes, looking for cards I like and cards I need and things like that for sets or just Hall of Famers that are lower grade or whatever, and it's a lot of fun. I'm also going to allocate $150 to buy some cards for a giveaway I'm planning on doing for 100 subscribers. I'm around 97 subscribers right now, so I think I'll get over that hump here really soon. and I'm planning on making a video and running kind of a video response contest, maybe a comment contest as well, to give away. What I'm thinking right now are 3 cards. But anyway, I'm going to allocate some of my Strongsville budget to pick out those 3 prize cards to give away to the viewers. So be on the lookout for a future video for that. But I'll be doing kind of the same thing, looking through value boxes and maybe some showcases as well, trying to find some neat cards for my collection, as well as ones that you guys may want to add to your collection too through the contest. I do want to try to pick up probably 1 football card while I'm at Strongsville. So I've got a couple of them up there, Jim Brown and Johnny Unitas. I think those are 59s. Recently I saw the 57 Topps Clue card at a show out in Salt Lake City, and it was a little bit more expensive than what I wanted to spend, but I think I can probably find one of those in a value box, or kind of an affordable copy of that somewhere. Maybe also find a T205, common. I'm working on the Giants team set there, so picking up one of those. Maybe finding either a wide pin or a fine pin, or a W517 pre-war card that I like. I am working on the Red Heart set, so if I can pick up a star or Hall of Famer from there for not too expensive, I might do that. I don't really have any 63 Fleer cards, so I put that Bob Gibson there, but I might pick up a copy from that set. Recently I watched a video on YouTube of a guy going through his 1970 Topps Super set, and so that Pete Rose kind of got on this chart because I want to look for some of those supers, and I thought that card looked pretty sweet there. So we'll see what I find. Like I said, this is kind of just a part of my budget that is totally random. It's just whatever catches my eye as I'm going through boxes and showcases that don't fall in any other category. But this is probably the part of the show that I'm looking forward to the most. So after I get my big hits, I'll have some dollars left over. I can go out and just take my time, go through boxes, and see what kind of stuff I can find. So that wraps it up for the targets for Strongsville for this year for me. Again, looking forward to seeing you guys there. If you're going, please stop me, introduce yourself, and show me what cards you're picking up. Love to hear that, either in person or you can leave it in the comments if you like. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and we'll talk later.